Well, it's another day in this post-COVID-19 '84 nightmare, my friends, as tensions are continuing to escalate when it comes to the enforcement of mandatory masks. And it's now reached peak insanity here in Canada as we're seeing articles like this coming out. This one from CTV News: Haliburton man allegedly refused to wear a mask prior to fatal police shooting. Or we have this from CBC: OPP shoot man dead hours after mask dispute leads to alleged assault. Now, I'm going to break down an article on this in great detail to give you a full context into what happened. But before we do, I'll just break it down for you quickly in a nutshell, guys. This is an elderly man in his 70s who entered into a grocery store where he, upon entering, was requested to wear a mask. Now, the man became agitated by this. He became irate by this. The staff ended up calling the police after he allegedly assaulted someone, and the police ended up showing up to the grocery store while he was still there. As this man was leaving, they decided not to stop him. They said out of the interest of public safety, which is bizarre, but they decided to just write down his license plate instead. And they went and showed up at his home later, after the fact, to confront the man about the incident earlier when it comes to refusing to wear a mask. And we are now being told, police reports say, an incident occurred at the man's residence to which he was fatally shot and killed by the police. Again, guys, all initially for refusing to wear a mask. You know, there's a saying that has been adopted by feminists that says, "My body, my choice." Now, they're using it largely to an extent to talk about their right to have an abortion, which is kind of contradictory, because what about the rights of the body inside your body? But that's besides the point, guys. The point is, everyone knows that you have the right to your own body. Nobody can enforce their will upon you when you don't want it. Everyone inherently knows this. Rape is wrong. Everyone knows that. Slavery is wrong. Everyone knows this. So someone can't just enforce himself upon someone else or force somebody to do something that is against their will, that may cause them harm or maybe even death. Well, you can't do it, but the government certainly can. What do you think a draft is? Where the government can, against your will, take your body and put you into harm's way, into a position where you may be killed. Well, that's what we're seeing here now today, guys, with the police enforcing these mandatory mask orders, now killing people because of it. I want to read to you from this Zero Hedge article right here, because it makes a couple of really good points that I want to make sure I make in this article as well, in this video. It says, Canada's first mask murderer. Ontario police kill 73-year-old man after he refused to comply with local mandate. Is this Canada's first mask murder? Those who keep up with the coronavirus-related news in the US probably remember an incident that transpired a few months ago where a security guard at a Family Dollar store in Michigan was shot and killed after asking a customer to put on a mask. But a similar incident that occurred more than a month later, where police shot and killed a man after he refused to wear a mask, got much less attention outside of the local press. Well, this week, Canada, one of its first samples of mask-related violence, when police shot and killed a man in Ontario after he refused to put on a mask. According to the CBC, Ontario's police watchdog unit is investigating an incident where two officers shot and killed a 73-year-old man in Haliburton County on Wednesday morning. Right before the killing, the man had refused to wear a mask and allegedly assaulted a grocery store employee before driving off, according to a statement from the Ontario Police that leaves out most of the details about how the shooting transpired. Initially, police were well, here it goes on to say, when the suspect left the scene hours after arrived, police refrained from trying to stop him after he drove off in the interest of public safety. Instead, they took down his license plate and showed up at his house later. 2 officers later visited the man at his home in Minden on Indian Point Road. The SIU said outside the home, an unspecified interaction ensued, and 2 police officers fired their guns at the man. The Ontario Police SIU, the unit that handles press, said that after the shooting, the officers called in additional resources which were brought to the area near Eagle Lake by the village of Haliburton. The shooting victim was taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead a couple of hours later. Officers recovered a pistol and a semi-automatic rifle from the scene, but it's not clear whether the man had brandished them at the police or whether he was unarmed during the encounter. As of Friday, investigators have thoroughly searched the scene, and an autopsy report is expected though the findings aren't really in doubt. But if the man attacked the officers first, why didn't they just say that? And that's a very legit point. If they were feeling threatened and he attacked them, why didn't they say that? Why did they shoot? What is being left out of the investigation? Well, it goes on to say, police are currently investigating a serious criminal matter near the village of Haliburton. Currently, there is no concerns for public safety. Please remain away from the Indian Point Road near Eagle Lake until police complete this investigation. Now, while the authorities were, for whatever reason, reluctant to share a complete account of the incident with the press, presumably their story will be routed through legal before being dished out to the trusted reporters, a woman who works at the Value Mart spoke with the CBC and apparently filled them in. Tiana Francis, a worker at the Value Mart in Minden, said she arrived for her shift at the grocery store shortly after the incident. When she arrived, all her co-workers and even the customers were talking about what had just occurred. When I got there, everyone was talking about it. My co-workers were a little bit shaken up, yes. Francis was told that the man didn't want to wear a mask, and she and other employees had to explain politely to other customers that an incident had happened earlier when they had asked why the police were there. I guess he just got angry and didn't want to. We couldn't really deal with that ourselves because it's really against the rules. So we had to call the police and everything. Francis added that workers at her store shouldn't have to enforce the mandatory mask policy issued by the local health district. It adds too much responsibility to jobs where workers are already stretched pretty thin. The policy only just took effect this week. Here's what she says. It's causing chaos, she said. If we didn't have to force him and tell him that he couldn't come into the store, nothing would have happened, really. He would have got his groceries and went along with his day. And she's absolutely right. Had they not have enforced this mandatory law, this man would be alive today, killed, all ultimately for refusing to wear a mask. My friends, if you want the science behind the masks and whether or not you should be wearing them, please be sure to check out my interview with Dr. Denny Rancourt. He wrote a paper on masks, and it's really making waves in the scientific community. I interviewed him. That interview got nearly 50,000 views in just a few days on YouTube, but as you probably know, my channel has been completely terminated, so it is no longer available there, but it is available on all the other platforms that I'm on, like BitChute, Library, Minds, Float, many others. Links are located in the description below, so be sure you check that out, guys, if you want to really get the science behind these masks and whether or not they should be mandatory. And I also want to give a shout out to the Hive community at hive.blog. They have embraced me with open arms, my friends, and it's been quite nice because I'm now earning a cryptocurrency there that I can trade for Bitcoin or gold or silver or whatever I choose, and it's really helping in these trying times. And the exciting thing is it's something that it's a way that you can support my work without contributing a single penny. You don't have to pay in to join, you don't have to give me anything, but just simply by following my posts, liking them, commenting on them on hive.blog, you too will earn a cryptocurrency. So it's really a win-win situation for us both. So I want to give a big shout out to the Hive community. Thank you so much for the warm reception. I want to encourage anyone watching this to check it out. Links are located in the description below. And that's all for today, guys. Just wanted to give you a heads up that we're reaching peak insanity here in Canada when it comes to these mandatory masks. Again, if you haven't seen my interview with Denny Rancourt, please check the links in the description below. It's of the utmost importance moving forward. That's all for today, my friends. If you want to support the efforts of this channel, please check out pressfortruth.ca/donate. There you can find where you can join as a patron, you can join as a Subscribe Star member, you can use the Patreon alternative, you can contribute cryptocurrencies. It's all there at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this. Please stay tuned for more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.